Coming up, a messy night to be on the roads as rain is expected to change to snow.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Some heavy rain has been working through the mountains tonight, and that rain could eventually switch over to snow. First Alert meteorologist Cameron Aaron joins us now with more on how much snow to expect. Cameron.
Yes, Steve, right now still watching out for some heavier downpours, some gusty winds, possibly some small hail in the Big Sandy Valley. But again, we are watching out for a changeover from rain to snow later on tonight. Let's take a live look at First Alert pinpoint Doppler. Some drier air beginning to work into southern Kentucky, also into northern Tennessee. But notice for the Big Sandy Valley, zooming into Pike County, also Floyd County, pushing into Johnson and Martin counties at this hour. Some heavier rain, also possibly some gusty winds, and some more heavy rainfall places close to the Mountain Parkway up to I-64 as well for Rowan County into Menifee, Morgan, also Estill and Powell counties. Now we do have a few flood advisory in place for places near I-64, also close to the Mountain Parkway, and that will last through early Tuesday morning. So we are tracking some heavier rainfall over those northern counties, but notice as we zoom out, we do have that changeover happening over northern Tennessee, over places like Nashville, also into south central Kentucky, and that changeover will continue as we go through late tonight and early on your Tuesday. Those current temperatures are still above freezing as expected. Most of us in the lower 40s, but some upper 30s as well, up to 39 for Moorhead, Jackson, 37 for Hazard, and 40 for Pikeville, also Clintonwood at this hour. Most of us fall into the middle and lower 30s as you wake up on Tuesday. And again, that rain to snow changeover by late tonight, also early Tuesday. More details on a new winter weather advisory, plus those snowfall totals coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, hopefully not too many problems tonight. Thank you. Whitesburg police have arrested a Harlan County man on rape and other charges. 55-year-old Brian Bailey of Benham was arrested Sunday. He's charged with third-degree rape, possession of matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor, and tampering with evidence. He was taken to the Letcher County Jail. Attorney General Coleman is suing Kroger for allegedly fueling the deadly opioid crisis. The lawsuit, filed in Bullitt Circuit Court, alleges between 2006 and 2019, Kroger and its pharmacies were responsible for more than 11% of all opioid pills dispensed in Kentucky. It says 4 billion morphine milligram equivalents of opioids were bought. Almost 194 million hydrocodone pills were distributed. The lawsuit also alleges the company failed to implement any effective monitoring program to stop suspicious opioid orders. A wet dry vote could make its way to ballots in Letcher County. Sheriff Mickey Steins is organizing a petition to allow alcohol sales countywide. He says the tax money, which would only apply to those buying alcohol, would benefit the sheriff's office. Stein says studies have shown it would not lead to more drinking and driving. He says drugs are their biggest problem.
We're not for DUIs. We're not for people laying around in the streets drunk, passed out in the middle of the roadway. We do not, when we get those type of complaints now in Letcher County, it is from some other type of substance.
Whitesburg and Jenkins are two cities that do currently allow alcohol sales in Letcher County, but again, it's not countywide. The sheriff says they could have a deputy on the clock at all times with the extra revenue. Mountain Comprehensive Care Center is introducing an extension of its SAFE program to the Pike County community. The program, strengthening and assisting families in eastern Kentucky, focuses on helping mothers who lost custody of their children get back on their feet. The substance abuse recovery program is one of the many aspects of the safe space, but those involved say it goes beyond the scope of recovery. It's about reconciliation.
They've been abused or they've had a lot of traumatic experiences, so we're able to be there and support them throughout that process. And then when they get that hope back and they just are happy again and they can be that mother that they always wanted to be, like, it's such a rewarding process.
The SAFE program in Pike County is one of two from MCCC. Another program operates in Johnson County. Two eastern Kentucky school districts are in mourning tonight. In Magoffin County, Food Service Assistant Director Rhonda Gullett died after a brief illness yesterday. There will be no school in Magoffin County on Wednesday, so staff can attend her funeral. In Floyd County, Vanessa Sloan, a middle school math teacher at John M. Stumbo Elementary, died last week. There will be no school at John M. Stumbo on Wednesday, also the day of her funeral. In Frankfort, lawmakers are trying to appropriately fund the state, and educators say they want to be part of the conversation. They fear some measures like Senate Bill 4 limit and restrict existing benefits. Salaries are another big point. The last time Kentucky teachers got a state-mandated dedicated raise above 2% was back in 2008. The legislature has left it up to local districts to use existing dollars to cover an increase in employee pay.
But ultimately, we don't have enough money now to do the things we need to do for kids, so that's really an impossible choice for school boards. So we really feel like there needs to be a dedicated dollar amount or percentage rate for teachers.
There are other proposals that give educators hope, like House Bill 387. It would lower qualifications to become a substitute teacher. KCTCS and the University of the Cumberlands are teaming up to create a clear path for community college students to earn a 4-year degree. KCTCS is the state's largest public post-secondary institution with 16 colleges, and the University of the Cumberlands is the largest private university in Kentucky. An event is being held later this week to lay out the details of that arrangement. Officials in Knox County are looking to purchase property for a new industrial park. With help from a grant, the property off US 25E will be assessed to see if it's even an option to be purchased. Knox County Judge Executive Mike Mitchell says the assessment should take about 3 months. He says this is just one of several projects underway.
We've got a very good hospital here. We're developing a sports complex park here that's going to bring in some tourism. But other things, it's going to have an impact here for local residents.
Mitchell says a new industrial park would improve the economy by bringing in more industries to the area. In Corbin, a former mayor is now the new city manager. Scott Williamson will oversee day-to-day operations of the city. Williamson, who spent a career in pharmaceutical sales, was elected mayor of Corbin 3 times before taking a role in Frankfort in 2004. Williamson is beginning his new duties soon. Former President Donald Trump is once again asking the U.S. Supreme Court for help. Trump filed an appeal to the nation's highest court today, asking the justices to hear his claim of absolute immunity from criminal prosecution. WYMT Washington News Bureau reporter Josh Roltenberg has more on that.
In Monday's filing to the U.S. Supreme Court, attorneys for Donald Trump argue special counsel Jack Smith should not be allowed to prosecute the former president on charges he allegedly conspired to overturn the 2020 election. Trump says anything he is accused of, he was acting in his official capacity as president and therefore cannot be charged. Trump's argument has been rejected by 2 lower courts already. Last week, a 3-judge panel at the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals was unanimous in its sharply worded rebuke to Trump that no president is entitled to absolute immunity from criminal prosecution. It's unclear if the U.S. Supreme Court will take up the case. It only takes 4 justices to issue a stay or a pause in the lower court's ruling. Either way, timing is of the essence. Trump's team wants the court to take its time on its decision to review, while the government would like to see an expedited ruling. How fast the court rules on this matter could determine if the federal election subversion case or any of Trump's criminal trials can be heard before the 2024 presidential election. In Washington, I'm Josh Roltenberg.
Coming up on Mountain News at 11, the latest on a shooting at a mega church in Texas. Could anti-Semitism be a motive?
Plus, we are tracking snow chances overnight, and some could be heavy. Your first alert forecast after this break.